Just a peaceful little man in a house under the hill, in the peaceful little shire where everything was still, till the wizard came along. He bid him good morn. How his life was changed that day, the wizard's mark upon his door. First they came in ones and twos, till they came in threes and fours. Soon were 13 gathered round. 'Twas an evening full of dwarves. He had no plans to ever leave. His life was not lived for the thrill, till they all questioned his pride as they finished up their meal. Bilbo was not an adventurer, just a hobbit like the rest. How could he be a burglar on some huge fantastic quest? How could he ever leave the shire with his 8 square meals a day? Trudging off to the dragon's fire with his life tossed in the fray. He was late leaving next morn from his house under the hill. Was no breakfast meant for him, quite a tough-to-swallow pill. But the party traveled on, in the woods they saw a light. Was a gathering of trolls, gave old Bilbo quite a fright. They sent him with a mission, he did his best to still, but the trolls soon caught them all, and were planning out their meal. Was a difficult decision, eat them as soups or pies or whole. But they argued till the morning, and were then all turned to stone. Bilbo was not an adventurer, just a hobbit like the rest. How could he be a burglar on some huge fantastic quest? How could he ever leave the shire with his 8 square meals a day? Trudging off to the dragon's fire with his life tossed in the fray. The dwarves were given knowledge by a forest group of elves. 'Twas the good people of Elrond and his last homely house. They continued through the mountains, took some solace in a cave. Then when they all fell asleep, goblins came and took them away. They were taken in their shackles, presented to the Goblin King. For old Gandalf came to save them, the goblins felt his magic sting. They ran off in the dark, were making their escape. But old Bilbo fell down a hole, he could not yet get away. Bilbo was not an adventurer, just a hobbit like the rest. How could he be a burglar on some huge fantastic quest? How could he ever leave the shire with his 8 square meals a day? Trudging off to the dragon's fire with his life tossed in the fray. He found himself in the dark, on the floor some silly ring. Wandered upon old Gollum, who was hungry for anything. Back and forth they went with their riddles, till he stumped old Gollum cold. What is it got in its pockets? Is it my precious you stole? The ring made Bilbo invisible, it was quite fortuitous. Out he followed Gollum, escaping the mountain's darkness. Wasn't long for he found his friends, their adventure had just begun. Maybe in all the commotion had Bilbo had just a bit of fun. Bilbo might be an adventurer, not a hobbit like the rest. Maybe he'd be a burglar on this huge fantastic quest. He found himself with a magic ring, how it took him by surprise. But they still had much further to go, yes, for many, many miles. Bilbo might be an adventurer, not a hobbit like the rest. Maybe he'd be a burglar on this huge fantastic quest. Maybe he'd learn a thing or two, take his friends all by surprise. That's a tale for another day of escaping dragon's fire.